From Katrina Balfe. Enjoying Sam's discomfort with maggots, to Jamie and Claire saying goodbye for the first time, these are the Outlander cast's most memorable moments. Right off the bat, it's Katrina absolutely loving Sam's fear of maggots. Let's be honest, this was one of the most disgusting scenes ever. You see, back in season 5, Jamie got bitten by this venomous snake and almost died. And in the 18th century, they didn't have all these fancy antibiotics lying around like we do today. So it was a real challenge for Claire to figure out how to save Jamie's life. But guess what? She came up with this totally unusual method. Now, you would think that Claire, being the genius she is, could have just used the penicillin she created. But nope, her syringe was broken at the exact moment Jamie got bitten. That's some tough luck. So, without any other options, Claire had to resort to using maggots to heal Jamie's wound. Yes, maggots. It was downright gross to watch, and the worst part? Those maggots were actually real. The actress herself spilled the beans and revealed that those squirming little creatures weren't CGI. But wait, it gets even crazier. According to Katrina, these maggots even made a sound like Rice Krispies when they were being munched away. TMI, buddy. And if that wasn't enough, Katrina also had some fun with the maggots by shoving them right in Sam's face. I can only imagine the looks on their faces. That's not all. Ewan also talked about how some of the maggots tried to crawl up on his real leg and not the prosthetic one he was wearing at the time. That sounds awful, right? But well, kudos to Sam for being a real trooper and getting through it. Plus, Katrina didn't just stop there. She talked about a moment in season 2 which pushed her as an actress, and it was none other than when her character delivered her stillborn daughter, Faith. Katrina's performance in this one was absolutely mind-blowing. You won't believe how she made everyone fall head over heels for her when she mourned the death of her daughter. It was heart-wrenching and beautiful at the same time, and fans couldn't help but be mesmerized. After that episode, Katrina became the biggest star of the whole show. She spilled the beans about why it was so unforgettable for her, and turns out it's all because it was written so beautifully that it pushed her to bring out her best acting skills. She really dug deep even though it was a tough and painful episode for her character, but it helped her discover new layers in her work, and it's all thanks to that episode. Katrina also didn't forget to give credit where it's due and praised Sam for helping her out during that challenging time. She complimented him as an actor, saying that he made the episode a breeze for her. He was there supporting her every step of the way, making sure she felt comfortable and at ease. That's what I call true teamwork. But now that I'm talking about Sam, it only makes sense to mention some of his memorable moments too. The first one being the wedding episode. Are you surprised to hear this? Because I'm not. Let's not forget that over the years, Sam has described himself as a hopeless romantic. And this episode is the peak of romance. Just to avoid going back to Randall, Claire decides to accept a marriage proposal from Jamie, just so she can become a Scottish citizen and come under his protection. It was a match made in heaven, and I'm sure you don't need me to remind you about what followed. Right after the wedding ceremony ended, let's just say that Outlander quickly became everyone's favorite drama for a reason. The whole episode was the perfect introduction to their passionate and long-lasting love, and that's exactly the reason why it's so memorable for the actor. Sam said that the episode became his favorite because it showed two people falling in love in their most vulnerable form. Isn't that just the sweetest? Plus, let's be honest, it's not only Sam who loves this moment, but the fans too. I mean, all of us have probably rewatched this episode 100 times. But this isn't the only sweet moment that stayed with Ewan over all these years. His heartfelt reunion with fellow actor Duncan LaCroix is a close second. Now, if you're a diehard fan of Outlander, you'll know that Sam and Duncan have the cutest friendship, just like their characters in the show. I mean, Murdo was basically Jamie's godfather, and one of the few people that Claire trusted with everything. So his death in Season 5, Episode 7 hit everyone really hard, especially Jamie. The actor himself admitted that losing Murtaugh wasn't easy for him because Duncan had been part of the OG family since the beginning, and that nobody wanted to see him leave. But once Sam found out that the production was filming a flashback scene with Duncan, he was over the moon. Ewan Ewan said that seeing Duncan back on set was amazing to witness, and don't forget, fans were lucky in this department too. They were mad how the storyline was different from the books, where Myrta dies during the Battle of Culloden. But the show writers decided to change his story completely. And if he died back then, the goodbye between him and Jamie wouldn't have been so emotional. I don't know about you, but it took me days to recover from that scene. Sam's favorite moments don't end here. Another one is his emotional reunion with his daughter. This was one scene that fans were dying to see. When Brianna finally came face to face with her biological father, everyone cried a little bit. It was a roller coaster of emotions. In just 12 hours, Brianna got assaulted, met her real father for the first time, and even reunited with her mother. The emotional punches were just too much to handle. But what made it so special for Sam? Truthfully, it was because the actor thought the reunion was nothing less than iconic. Because this was the moment where the father and daughter truly bonded with each other. On top of all that, he also revealed how much fun he had working with Sophie Skelton. He said he has a blast with her every time they work together. And speaking of Sophie, her and Richard Rankin picked their favorites too. Sam and Katrina's favorite moment may have involved maggots, but for Sophie, it involved another animal. Did you guess it? Yep, her horse. Skelton apparently loved the horse she filmed with, but turns out the feeling wasn't mutual at all. She shared how much the horse didn't like being around people, which made filming super hard for the actress who couldn't figure out how to calm him down or bond with him. If you're wondering why she picked this struggle as her favorite moment, don't worry, you're not alone. But I'm sure there must have been some sort of sweet memory behind it. On the other hand, Rankin revealed that his most memorable moment was Brianna and Roger's wedding because it was a special moment, where the entire cast were all gathered up filming for the same scene. And for the first time, nothing terrible happened to any of their characters. I mean, it goes without saying that Outlander can get dark at times, so it's good to know that the cast has fun on set at least, sometimes. Richard said that it was even more special because the fans loved it too, and I can't argue with him there. Still, the one scene that everyone on the cast loved was when Jamie and Claire had to say their heartbreaking goodbyes in the Dragonfly and Amber episode. This was the moment when the beloved couple realized that they were doomed to lose the Battle of Culloden no matter what they did. All their hard work and efforts were basically down the drain, but here's where it gets real intense. Jamie, being the ultimate hero, made the most selfless sacrifice ever and decided to let Claire go back to the future because he knew deep down that he probably wouldn't survive the battle. He couldn't bear the thought of her getting killed in the middle of all that chaos, and they said their goodbyes with zero hope of ever meeting again in the future. It was a roller coaster of love, pain, and heartache. And Sam even talked about how incredible it was to work with Katrina for that episode to bring out the raw truth and agony of Jamie and Claire parting ways, calling it a magical moment. And let's not forget about the location. The whole setting added an extra layer of intensity to the scene. But you know what made it even more special for us fans? Claire decided to give Jamie this precious wedding gift she had received, which was a dragonfly encased in amber. No other scene even comes close to this one. So there you have it. From Jamie and Claire saying goodbye for the first time to Katrina Balfe enjoying Sam's discomfort with maggots, those were the Outlander cast's most memorable moments.